Hello friends and welcome to Obsidian Soft. Today we will complete the face recognition app that we had started in the previous video. Before working on the check next person procedure, let's make another empty procedure, and this procedure is called compare faces, okay? And we will come back to it later. So let's go back to our check next person procedure, and the only thing we will be doing here is that we will be checking that we haven't checked against all the registered photos. So how can we do that? From control, get the if then else block, and we can check that our current index, so get the equal to block from math, but make it less than equal to that our current index is still less than or equal to the number of registered photos. So how can we get the number of registered photos? For that, from lists, get the length of list block and we give it the registered photos list. So if my index is still less than or equal to the number of registered photos, then go ahead and call the procedure compare faces. Otherwise, you need to tell that we were not able to recognize this person. So result label, set text, and we can say something that this, actually I can add a cross emoji. So copy that and person not recognized, okay? Now we come back to our compare faces procedure, okay, this one. And here we are going to call the face plus plus API. And before doing that, we need to set the URL of our web component, okay? So if I scroll down, I have this block set web1.url to a text block, and that will contain this link, this URL. I will give all this information except the API key and secret in the video description, okay? So copy it, come back and paste it here, okay? So this is the URL for communicating with the Face++ API. Next, we have to call web's post text procedure, okay? So this one, okay? But it will be a join of multiple items, in fact 8 of them. So from text, get the join block, okay? And click on the cogwheel to add 8 slots to it. These slots have a tendency of disappearing while I am in the middle of putting stuff in it. So if that happens, don't worry, just add them again, okay? I need to put an empty text block here. And what goes in the first slot? This is this API key is equal to. So don't put the inverted commas, just API underscore key is equal to. So come back and paste it here. Okay, now the API key is our global variable. So API key, right click, duplicate, put it here, and the third slot. So this was the API key, the global variable. Copy it, paste it here. Right click, duplicate, and now make sure that you choose API secret here, okay? And then the fifth slot is again a text block, so I can duplicate, but we have to change it. Fifth slot, okay, And this is now the captured image. Okay, the sixth slot will contain the captured image. Now we have to encode the captured photo to base 64. So how can we do that? We are going to call our base 64 extension file to string direct block, the one that takes in a path file. Okay, so make sure that you use this one because there are a lot of similar looking procedures in it. So file to string direct procedure, which takes in a path file. Now the path file contains something extra in it that we need to remove. Okay, so from text, get the replace all text block, and the text is our captured photo. Remember, we stored it in a global variable. So captured photo, this is a path in which I have something extra that I need to replace. So the extra thing is file : 2//. So file : 2//, and I'm going to replace it with an empty text block. So in a way, I will be getting rid of this segment from this path. Okay. Now, again, we need a text block. Okay, here. Okay, see, it just disappeared. The 8th slot is unfortunately gone. I will put it back later, but this is actually the text for the 7th slot. And the 8th slot, I need to add it again. Okay. So the 8th slot is the photo, the registered photo at the current index, because we will be comparing the captured photos with the registered photos one by one. So whatever photo is at the current index, we need to send it. So we need to, apart from encoding the image, we need to also get the correct image from the registered photos list. And remember, the registered photos does not contain just the image parts, they also contain the name. And remember, the pipe that we made, that was the sole purpose of putting the pipe between the name and the image path, was that we can easily remove it later. Okay, so from text, get the split text add block. Okay, do it carefully. And the text to be split is whatever is inside the registered photos list at the current index. So from lists, get the select list item block, and the variable is registered photos, and you can see it's gone again, not again. So we will put it back again later. So registered photos, and the index is my current index. Okay, and at. So what are we splitting at? So this was the pipe. Okay. So I'm now going to split it, and I will get a list after splitting with 2 items in it. The first item will be name and the second item will be the image path. Okay. So again, I am going to do a select list item block. Okay. So I got a list of 2 items and I'm interested in the second item because that is my image path. Okay. 2. Okay. And now I can right click and duplicate this one. Okay. And how did it come back again? But it did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's back again magically. But in any case, I'm happy it's back, the 8th slot. So file to string direct, and here replace all text, but not from the captured photo path, but from the photo path of the registered photos. Okay. So let me show you the entire thing again. So I got the photo item from the current index, removed the pipe from it, so I got the name and the image path to itemed list, and the second item is the image path, so I got that, and then I removed the file colon // from it, and then I provided it to the base64 file to string direct procedure. Okay, so this is what our compare faces procedure looks like, and while looking at it, I realized that I had to encode this base64 into a form that we can send in the post text block. So from web, get the URI encode block, and we have to plug this in here. Okay, and we have to do the same thing for the second image. So URI encode, plug this in, okay, like this. Okay, and now we are done with the compare faces procedure, and since we have posted text and we have talked with the face++ API, we will get some response back, and this will trigger the web's .GotText event. So let me bring it down here. Okay, and here using the control if then else block, we will first check that our response code is 200, because response code 200 means a success. So from logic, get the equal to block, response code here, math 200 here. And in case of an error, if the response code is not 200, I like to see what is being returned inside the response content. So let's use the notifier show alert hover over response content to get the get block for it to see what is inside the response content. Okay, so whenever you are dealing with APIs, remember my GPT tutorials, my Gemini tutorials, I always tell you that if you are getting errors, it's good to see what is being returned by the server by using the notifier.showAlert procedure. Okay, now in this case, if response code is 200, then this means we got something, a proper successful response from face++. So now we need to decode that response. Now, the kind of response that face++ normally sends in case of success is like this. So you can see that it is a JSON dictionary, and we have covered JSON before too. So these are key value pairs, and the only key value pair I'm interested in is the confidence key with its value. Okay, so we are going to just try to get that. Okay, so first of all, I am going to make a local variable, and that is just JSON data, and I'm going to call webs JSON text decode with dictionaries procedure, and I'm going to just pass it the response content. Okay, then I'm going to make another local variable, and this is now just confidence, the value that we will get from the key confidence. Okay, and how can we get that? From dictionaries, get the get value for key block. Okay, and the key, now this is important, the spellings are very, very important in JSON. So just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to copy it and paste it here. Okay, and the dictionary is the JSON data, the decoded response content, and the value if not found, because we are expecting a numeric value, so I'm going to make it 0. Okay, so if not found, then 0. Okay, now once I have my confidence, I can know that okay, if it is greater than 80, then this means that the face was recognized, and we can show the name of that person and the confidence to the user. Otherwise, we are going to continue comparing with the other registered photos. Okay, so from control, get the if then else block, and I'm going to check that my confidence from math get the equal to block, make it greater than, okay, and from math get the number block and make it 80. So if it is greater than 80%, this number represents a percentage. So if the confidence is greater than 80%, I am going to show the name and confidence to the user. So set result label dot text to a join of actually 6 things. Okay, and let me get a tick mark emoji. Copy the tick mark and go back. Text block. This is space. And now I am going to just split. Remember the splitting thing? Right click, duplicate, bring it down. Okay. Plug this in, and now remember the splitting. The second item was the image path, but the first item is the name. So I can show the name here. Okay. Then another text block, exclamation mark, and then /n. So this will bring the text coming next on the next line. So this is a new line character. Okay. A text block, confidence, space, and then from math get the round block. Okay, that disappeared again, but it's okay. And right click, duplicate the confidence. So we round the confidence and we need to add the percentage mark. So click on the cogwheel to add text block here, and then here we go, and then the percentage here. Okay, so this is, and then the name of the person, exclamation mark, and then on the next line the confidence. So actually I can put a colon here. Okay, and space, and then the rounded confidence, and then the percentage sign. Okay. In the other scenario, what we're going to do is that we need to continue comparing. So for that, first of all, we are going to add a 1 to our current index. So variables set block current index plus, you can duplicate this from here, and we can duplicate the 1 from here too. So we add a 1 to the current index because we need to move on to the next registered photo, and then we are going to call the procedure check next person. Okay. And we are done making this exciting face recognition app in MIT App Inventor. Make it today and impress your friends and teachers. Like the video, share it with your friends and family, and please subscribe to my channel if you like my work and don't want to miss the great projects I have planned for you. The demo at the beginning of this tutorial was made from the same project that I just coded in front of you, so no clickbaits on my channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and goodbye.